So I've sent out the trackers, and uh the designated area is this complex of the main palace building and any attachments, but I'm not really doing the entire estate.
It's fun. It gets back almost immediately, and
I
you
hate
have
it
a
when that happens.
surrounding,
Right behind
a
you.
surrounding of it. There's a large source of essence located in one of the inner courtyards of the castle. And it seems you have this image locates at the center of this courtyard when it seems to be located to a ceremonial stone, one blessing the local deity or spirit protecting this castle.
That's a little bit less mysterious than everything we've encountered so far.
Large
And
source of
large,
essence,
stationary, symbolic, socially important, covered with symbols,
Sounds good. Sounds like we're getting somewhere.
That's those. One of those.
One of those, please.
And I can imagine that even at the entering the inside the castle, some of these samurai machines are still there, and they move really slow.
Right.
They're not located in in the courtyard. Yeah. They're not protecting anything. They're just like there,
wandering around, being scary robots, but they're not working really well. I kind of like the fact the Enigma is not powering the robots; they were the creation of the Shadow, and we cut off the fuel source, so that's good. But the Enigma is going to cause more and more trouble as we go along. All right. Shall we do that thing where we go and alert an unbidden that we're here?
Mm-hmm.
Which seems like I personally still have a hard time finding the downside of that. Seems like a really good idea. Under certain circumstances, it seems like a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see.
I think there was something about touching it or not touching it.
Well, you have to be there.
Right.
You have to be there.
Right.
Touching it is, I'll look it up. But at the moment, we are interested in going to this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go and see this potential Enigma. We're looking for, this is the focus of the Enigma, is what we're looking for. Let's go and examine this thing.
So it's a strenuous action that requires a sensitivity challenge.
Well, we have to get there first. Can we go?
Yeah.
Okay.
No problem.
All right. Strenuous action, and well, that's to find it. I mean, right now we've okay, hold on, let me do this.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Examining the focus is a strenuous action that requires a sensitivity challenge. Okay. Everybody, shall we do this? What are our sensitivities, just to check on something? Because as long as we're spending vitality, Lilith is probably out of that equation.
Yeah, I've only got 5 left.
Sensitivity, I have a +2, and it's a 6. It's
right. That's
so
almost as. Yeah, I'm
and it's awareness. So it's a 6 dice +2. So I'm good. There's a good chance.
You're the right one because my willpower is diminished because of the weaving.
Right.
So
yeah, I can use some karma also. So I think we're
okay. Let's see about this.
But what's the situation there, Adriano? Is it are we alone? Are there people there? What's the thing? What time of the day is this even, by the way? What are we talking about?
I'm imagining that it is past noon.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the sun is still shining on this courtyard. I can imagine the classic one with the sand that it was, and the ceremonial stone at the center, a black piece of obsidian, an obsidian stone, and there are ceremonial writings carved and then covered in some kind of white ink. And there are some offerings to the ground. It is very quiet.
I
Not
assume
so
we
many
would
people.
attempt to be here with as few if people if possible, none if possible. So, all right.
I can imagine that there are moments where you can hear like tiny little footsteps. Maybe people are passing here or through without shoes, and so they're very. It's almost quiet to the point where you can almost hear anything except for. But okay, yeah, there was a little bit of cover.
Okay. So we have to touch it, right?
No, you don't. Okay. Mending requires touching.
So the very important difference. We had this discussion before.
So this roll now is for what specifically?
It's called scrying. It's on page 70.
Okay. Okay.
One of the nice things about it is that if this was caused by an unbidden, you will get a vision of the unbidden's actual whereabouts.
No, I get it. Good. No, I get it. Okay. Okay. So I will just pretend, and I suggest to my colleagues that we are just kind of on our knees and in front of the stone, just in case someone is looking. It looks kind of like we're praying or something, or communing somehow. And I'm going to do that roll. So it's 6 down of awareness. That's not that great. It's an 8. And what was the skill? Sensitivity.
Right.
Yeah, so that would be a 10. Would that be enough, Adriano?
No, not enough.
No? Then I will.
Yeah.
I'm going to consume a karma and go again.
Okay.
Okay, here it goes again. Ah, shit. It's even worse.
Oh, damn it.
Okay, damn it. I'm just kind of reluctant to consume more karma.
Right. No, I hear you on this.
Left.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to risk just to know if there's an enigma.
Well, I think we're relatively desperate here in terms of information. My roll isn't as good as yours anymore, but I do have a +3 on 5 dice. So there's nothing wrong with me trying to do the same thing.
Yeah. Sounds pretty good. Yeah.
Whereas I get a 15.
Yeah, that's enough.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right. So we work together, I suppose, and I'm able to finally, the vision will finally hit me. Let's find out.
As you observe the stone, it seems that the more you look into it, and the more you zoom into this vision, and the more complex it becomes. You can actually see the atoms of the stone, and then underneath, and there's a galaxy, a cosmos of mechanisms swirling at these inconceivable speeds, and then again and again and again you just like lose yourself into this tapestry of chemical mechanisms until you can find a single point made of pure light at the very center, and the enigma unfolds itself, showing you how it is not part of this world. However, it doesn't show any sign of unbidden.
That's good. That's good.
Your vision just stops there, then it
Right,
gets back to the stone.
Excellent. All right. Who knows how it began? You know, human sorcery from long ago, or some other confirmation of influences, but this is it. And if there's not an unbidden involved, then we can mend it now. And that's what we came to do. That's what we're here for.
Right.
After
Who's
that,
the professional mender?
yeah, yes,
It's Lilith.
Not only that, it's a matter too of, you know, whatever the revolutionaries get up to, and whatever, you know, restoration of history, however altered in detail, actually happens here. That's not our problem. So, as long as okay. How's our mending?
+4. I have +4 in mending.
That's a good. I like that. And you've got a really nice awareness too, as I recall.
Yeah. So 6 dice and +4.
Lilith, we're on mask mending.
Yeah. I've got a +3 with a 6 in awareness. So if we need to,
good.
we've got
You're the backup. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like you. I have 6 and 3, but I'm down a willpower at this point. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Perfect.
No, this is awareness. That's not willpower.
Right.
But I think it's only if you try again, you have to burn 1 vitality, I think. But anyway, okay, so here's the roll.
And this takes time.
12, yeah. So 12, 16.
16?
That's a 16, yes.
All right.
Ooh. Yes.
Okay, we needed that. I actually quite like all this robot samurai violence, and then we actually go, and the climax is all of us sitting in silence for hours. Yeah. That's cool. I like that.
Probably looking like we're doing some kind of ritual, to the mask.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, we offended the daimyo. We have to go here and cleanse ourselves, right? So.
And as you stare at the enigma, I like to think that it simplifies itself. It becomes even, you observed how much complex the internal mechanisms were, and now they're revert to the simple, to the plain, to the human things. And hours and hours later, as the sun is moved and you don't even have so much light to work on, you can sense that your work is done. It's not something that it's more like a sudden realization. It's done.
What do you guys say that we never come back from this garden? Right.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to leave.
No, I think what I mean is that we just go back now. We go back through the rift now. So it's
leave them to wonder what happened to
these 3 people went and meditated and
the emissaries.
We just never.
They never came back.
Right.
We just created another legend in Japan for Japanese history. Mm-hmm. The mysterious delegation from somewhere.
I don't think anybody was that interested, Pedro. I don't think we rate a legend. Don't give Adriano ideas that we started new Enigma or some shit like that. The veil will take care of us in that regard, I think. Okay, so that would be it for our hunt, wouldn't it?
I think so, yeah.
So if you decide to call the navigator, it is done.
Yeah, let's do that. I don't mind playing through that.
Yeah.
Well, I imagine that even if it isn't something that it's something that like an echo or a vision that superimposes to the material world, like the sand being sucked down by something, and the ceremonial stone and all the colors surrounding you being absorbed by the navigator as it emerges from the ground, swallowing you. And then you have this the familiar sensation of the translocation, and just like that you end up in in Lilith domain. Yeah, I imagine that you may end up in Lilith domain.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing to give to the Black Abbot's Gate.
Right. No.
So
yeah.
So we're all there in the room with Lilith.
And of course, you're welcome to stay and recover a while. No.
Do we have some kind of chairs in the room or something? Lilith, I can imagine Mask just kind of sitting like after
now
a long day of work.
Yeah, now there are exactly. Okay, well, in that case, I want to bid, with a chance for some companionship and a sense of a hard fought and complex hunt, but also a sense of, this time we didn't do anything terrible to anybody. And what kind of experience are we talking about?
okay.
And karma and stuff.
Yeah, just give you 15 points of experience.
Right, just because it's the only sensible thing to do, frankly. Yeah.
As for the other, yeah. It's 4 points of karma.
All right. So let's see. I knocked it down to 2. So I end up with 6. And get my vitality back and my willpower back, fortunately. I'd also had to knock down my strength from the weaving. Weaving's very, very arduous. You heal your vitality, but you have to take penalties on other things. So that's settled. And then 15 experience. I was very interested actually in doing something that isn't that common, which is actually buying up vitality, which you can do directly, which isn't the worst not the worst idea I ever heard of. Okay. Adriano, I think this is our last hunt.
Okay.
I think that my classes have started. This set of experiences for you are probably hitting the point of necessary reflection, in my opinion, if you don't mind me having an opinion about that. And that the game and characters have seen a pretty good workout anyway. So what do you think, everybody, on this?
Yeah, but it's okay. There are things that I will say that it was interesting and a good experience in a way. I'm just I was at the end quite a little tired of having these little pieces not really clicking in terms of rules, forgetting one thing and then another one.
Yeah, there's.
Go
ahead. Sorry.
No, I will say that it was good to see some of the. Well, you know what? I'll just think about it. It's a difficult thing to articulate.
No, I actually think a big conversation about it right now is not very important.
I just wanted to apologize for linguistic barrier and not having
Yeah,
many
that's
attention for
What?
many things.
Then it will-
Adriano, your English is better than most Americans. I mean, seriously, there was no barrier. This was remarkably good, at least as far as reception of anything you said was concerned.
Yeah, but in terms of errors and little stuff, I liked your Stalkers. And if I were me, an episode entirely on, say, Lilith and then Mask, then Hazard
Right.
would have been fantastic. But
Mhm.
it sometimes I didn't give you enough space, and that's a concern.
It's
Maybe right now it's
take a look
my
at
fault.
no, this what is this apology and fault thing? I think that when we look at the videos, because remember, I have to relive these fucking things right through the edits, so I can say, after having done this for a while, a lot of insights and effect on future play occur without really making a checklist.
Mhm.
Right? You're not really making a little list of, oh, I did this, and oh, I'll fix that, and oh, what have I learned, and that kind of thing. Sometimes that happens, but more importantly, it's an accumulated effect of recognizing when you're playing. The way I see it now is that when you're playing, GM or player,
Mhm.
you are necessarily too much in your own head.
Yeah.
And what I have been teaching in this current class called People in Play, and really investigating this for the first time, is the idea that the medium of play is in what has been heard and returned. Somebody said X, someone else is going to return X in some way. Even if you say the door is locked, when someone else says, okay, I try to pick the lock, that counts, right? That counts right there. But if you just say it and it's not returned in any fashion, it doesn't really enter the medium. If it goes into your head, it may be important fuel for you for how you process it and return it, whatever you're imagining and stuff like that, but it still isn't part of the medium. And I think a lot of people are listening to themselves. They speak, whether you're a game master or a player, they speak and they say, okay, I have contributed to the medium because I talked.
I believe that this is
occurred.
the problem.
But it hasn't occurred until somebody else reincorporates something about what you said. It doesn't have to be everything, and whatever's going on inside everybody's heads is wonderful that it is so rich. And I don't need to know everything that, exactly how everyone else imagines it. But whatever gets reincorporated has to be at least compatible. That's the only thing, right, that has to be compatible, not what we imagine inside. But I have noted, now that I've been looking back over a lot of these situations, and it's much easier when you're not the GM to recognize this, to while I'm watching the videos. It's much easier to get weird feelings about it or what isn't working and stuff like that when you're a player for some reason. And my take is that the skill that any of us can benefit from is to make sure that we're reincorporating things we hear when we talk. And so just if you contribute XYZ and you contribute ABC and you contribute, M and O, we all think we've played, but we really actually haven't played a whole lot.